Hello, good day, this is Carlos Sanchez and today's video is going to be about two tenses, simple past and past progressive. This is for Unit 2 and let's begin. Right, introduction. For simple past, we use simple past to express completed actions that ended in the past. It focuses on the completion, as you can read, and whatever you did in the past and finish in the past is going to be considered automatically simple past. It's really easy to understand and that's why we call it that way. Now, past progressive. We use past progressive to set the scene and emphasize the process or duration of a past action. In here, it doesn't focus on the completion of an action, but on the duration of the action. The action that began at one specific time and may or not be completed. It doesn't matter. So that's why it's not the same as past progressive. Now we're going to move on to the next slide for us to verify how to structure, how to build a sentence in simple past and the ways for us to identify it. So first of all, we have affirmative statement. Right? We have the example. In this case, we have the subject she, the verb order. Because we're talking about simple past, we need to add the ed to create the past, the regular verb. All right. So the subject she, the verb order plus ed, and the complement. Two cheese pizzas yesterday. Right. Now we have negative statement. Oscar did not bring the computer for the presentation. Here we have Oscar as subject. For us to create negative statement, we definitely need to use the auxiliary did plus not, so did not, and it is necessary always to use the verb in base form. In this case, bring is not going to be brought, it's going to be bring. So Oscar didn't bring what? The computer for the presentation. Now for yes no questions, we also need to use yes or yes, the auxiliary did at the very beginning. Then we use the subject, so it's going to be Mary. So did Mary turn the TV on? If you see here, the verb turn on is going to be in the base form as well because we're using the auxiliary did. The answer would be yes, she did, or no, she did not. If you want, you can also add the complement. Alright, now let's move on to the WH questions. The WH words, as you may know, are when, why, to whom. So in this case, we have an example, when did you buy your car? Alright, so first of all, we need to add the WH word, when, plus the auxiliary did, because we're talking about simple past. So when did, subject you, plus the verb, in this case, buy. Buy in the base form. When did you buy your car? Now, the next example is simple past and simple past. Yes, we can combine Peter, past. You see here, Peter subject, verb, past plus ed, past, the admission test, when he did it, did. This is the past form of the verb do. Yep, simple past and simple past. Now, the next example, which is the last one, simple past and past progressive. Alright, I'm gonna read it first. He bought the cell phone while the seller was explaining the benefits. In here we have he, which is the subject. The verb is going to be in the past, a regular verb for buy. So he bought the cell phone while the seller was explaining. This is the structure for the past progressive. The verb to be in the past was for seller was explaining. We use the verb plus the ing, base form plus ing, explaining. Alright, so now we have the next the next topic, past progressive. We also have some examples. For affirmative statement, we can use he was taking swimming classes 2 months ago. So as I mentioned, for past progressive, we use the verb to be in the past. So were or was. In this case, because the subject is he, we are going to use was. So he was what? Taking. We use the verb take, but in this case we add ing. So he was taking swimming classes 2 months ago. Now let's move on to the negative statements. Charlie was not watching the UFC fight yesterday. Subject Charlie, verb to be in the past. For Charlie was, because it's a negative statement. Not, was not. The verb plus ing, in this case watch. So wasn't watching what? The UFC fight yesterday. It's very easy. Now, yes, no questions and short answers. Okay, the same, right? In this case, we use the past form of the verb to be. Were you cooking spaghetti? Because it's past progressive, we use the verb plus ing, cooking. Were you cooking spaghetti? The answer would be yes, I was. No, I wasn't. Alright, WH questions. We already know WH words, so in this case we have where were you riding the bicycle? We use were as the WH word plus were of the past form of verb to be for the subject you. And the verb plus ing, in this case ride, riding what? The bicycle. Next example, past progressive and past progressive. Yeah, we can use both twice. So here we have, he was drinking a can of soda when he was watching TV. We have subject he plus verb to be in the past for he, which is was, verb plus ing, drinking, complement, a can of soda when he, again, was watching TV. And now we have the last example for past progressive. Now we have he was walking at the park when his boss called him. We can combine past progressive and simple past. Here we have subject he plus past form of the verb to be was, verb plus ing, walking, where? At the park when his boss called him. Is simple past, so we can combine both. To sum up, we have another part. This is the best part, right? We need to fill in the blanks with the simple past or past progressive. I won't be able to automatically add the correct answers, so we're gonna be discussing this, and if you can write down on your own. So let's begin. We have the number one. It says, when I, the teacher, the summary. So here we can use here, for example, the simple past. When I arrived, the teacher was writing the summary. For number two, it says, he, the road when him. We can use this. He was crossing the road when I saw him. Number three, they, the computer, when I, the door. In this case, we have they were fixing. We can use they were fixing, past progressive, the computer when I opened the door. So here we have simple past. For number four, we have her leg while she. We can use, for example, Mary broke, simple past, her leg, past progressive, while she was skating. We have number five. While my father, we can use past progressive. While my father was driving home, and we can use here negative statement for simple past. He didn't answer his mobile cell phone. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot. And yep, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.